Just a really quick question. How many of you use some form of a lesson starter, be it like an activity or a quick quiz, and not just, just take your whiteboard marker and go, right, year 8, start copying this down? Do many of you have some form of an activity? Yeah, cool. What I'm trying to talk about today in terms of lesson starters is how can you use that as a level playing field for all students to start the lesson in a positive manner. Okay, and the first one is my absolute favorite to start with any classroom that I'm visiting for the first time is think of a number. So I got this one from Judy, and for the benefit of those who haven't seen it, can I just get a quick volunteer from the audience? Yeah. Yeah, you can just say that. Yeah. So can you think of a number between 1 and 63? Okay. Is there a number in the blue card? Okay. The orange one? The purple one? Yellow? Pink? Okay. And the green one? Okay. So is there number 17? Yeah. So for those of you that haven't seen this or have forgotten, the trick is basically that you're adding the number in the top left-hand corner with every single card. And when you try this with any year group, they just go crazy. I've tried this with my colleagues, I've tried this in every single prac, and I've even tried it in Sweden where kids couldn't speak to me in English, and they love it. So it's a fantastic task that way. The second one, Eddie already spoke about, but luckily I came a bit prepared in case someone else spoke about it. Mobius strip, what you could do is just get students to use A3 sheets of paper. If you have that one cut out into thin strips, like they're less likely to tear it off, and just get them to glue it in. And the answer to Eddie's question about what happens when you actually have a double fold is that you actually get a knot of double folds, and that would actually make kids really interested. And the aim with this kind of a task is trying to get students to explore mathematics beyond the curriculum or beyond what the syllabus states, so that students can actually start considering options about whether they'd like to pursue mathematics further, or see how it's actually really interesting and something they wouldn't encounter. The next one, cryptorhythms, I actually got this from a book from Australian Problem Solving Mathematics Olympiads. These are basically just logic puzzles. Every single letter represents a digit, and I've sort of felt that when you give them a simple example on the board, and then when you give them a question, they're more likely to understand it and do it. And get them working in pairs or in small groups, because this could be really time consuming, and again, you only want it to be a lesson starter. This is something that I tend to use a lot, and it's something that you could use with financial maths or indices, a whole bunch of topics. Just putting up that question and saying, your great aunt Muriel has passed this on for you, or you've won a lottery, and which option would you prefer? And when you see them working, you'd see that a lot of students, especially around year 8, like they'd be going times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2 on their calculator. Whereas, when you do it as a whole class, when you're going through the problem, and then they have that aha moment with indices. So it's great to show the power of indices or the power of compound interest. Now it's all well and good to try and have these kind of activities, but I'm a teacher and I don't have time, is what many people tend to say. So there are many fantastic sources. When I'm on prac, Google is my best friend, especially when it comes to lesson starters. When you just do that, you get so many different activities that you could use. Foreign books and journals are fantastic, I think, especially NCTM, because that wasn't necessarily written for the Australian curriculum, or by authors in Australia. So you do get this wide variety of tasks that are beyond the syllabus. My personal favorite right now, Big Book of Numbers. He's got some fantastic activities, and I know that it has been mapped to the Australian curriculum, but you could use that to your advantage as well, like using particular lesson starters and then linking it to the actual lesson. Thank you.